Welcome back to Death Valley. Doug Bell alongside Hootie Ingram on a gorgeous afternoon for football. You can't beat this temperature, Coach. It's beautiful outside.
Well, all of a sudden we went from high humidity to low humidity, and we're ready to play, boy.
The crowd is revved up. And Jim Caldwell in his 8th season at Wake Forest took the Demon Deacons to a bowl game a year ago, the Aloha Bowl, in which they won that game. That was a senior-laden ball club for Jim Caldwell, and he lost a whole bunch of starters. Tommy Bowden and the Clemson Tigers have gotten off to a red-hot start. In fact, Wake Forest won the coin toss. They'll defer to the second half, so we'll see the Clemson offense attack the first drive of the football game. Jackie Robinson is deep for the Tigers, and Brian Mance. And kicking off is the Demon Deacons, and booting it into the end zone is Tyler Ash. That goes through the end zone, so the Tigers will start on their 20-yard line. As we look at the men up front, Watkins, Chester, Young, Bougros, and McDermott. An offensive line that's getting better each and every week. Travis Zachary has had a nice start at tailback. Rod Gardner is the go-to guy on the outside, and Woodrow Dantzler, what can you say? He has been sensational in the first 2 victories against the Citadel and Mizzou. From the shotgun, Woodrow Dantzler, 5 wide. Quickly to the outside. That's Robinson. Pick up a 7 yards. Quick hitter. That's the Orangeburg, South Carolina connection. Calvin Pace on the stop for the Demon Deacons.
It was a nice choice by Dantzler. Had a blitz from the outside linebacker, and he threw the quick pass.
And again, Wake Forest seems a little confused right now. This no-huddle offense. Oh, that was almost picked off by Brian Ray. Coach, you talked about him off the top. That was a nice play.
He's a very active guy, big guy, 6'4", 275, and I believe he's a little more active than Justin Smith was that I compared him to.
And here are the starting lineups for Wake Forest on defense. Brian Ray, who we spoke of, the All-American candidate. Calvin Page, very active as well. Nick Bender is off to a good start at middle linebacker. It's 3rd down and 3. Woody drops the snap. Travis Zachary jumps on it. Nope, actually Woody got back on it. It'll bring up 4th down for the Tigers. Jamie Somani will come on to punt.
Well, they're trying to run a draw play there, and they had a little mix-up on the handoff, and very alertly Woody recovered that ball.
Jamie's averaged just under 40 punts, 9 attempts this season. Adrian Duncan is deep for Wake Forest, standing at about the 28-yard line.
He's kicking a little bit against the wind, Doug. It's not a heavy wind, but a little slightly against the wind.
Duncan fielded it on 1 bounce, goes forward, and Wake Forest will start from the 36-yard line.
Adrian Duncan will return 4 yards. Wake Forest 1st and 10, all spotted at the 35-yard line.
For Wake Forest, up front, Blank and Houck are the tackles. Solid tackles on the outside. Terrence Williams will start at tailback. Ray Thomas, the tight end. And the quarterback, C.J. Leak out of Charlotte, North Carolina. First play goes for no gain. Terry Bryant clogged things up. Bryant has gotten off to a nice start this season from Clemson defense.
He's made a lot of plays. He penetrated from the right side and stopped the play off the backside.
That was Terrence Williams with the first carry. Here comes C.J. Leak, a sophomore. Big kid, 6'4", 231 pounds. It's 2nd down and 11. Right up the middle is Williams, and he gets knocked around, picks up a couple of yards. Ryan Mance comes up to make the stop.
Here's a 3rd and long now, first big play. Let's see what Wake's going to do on 3rd down.
Mance getting the start today in place of Darryl Crutchfield at the corner slot for the Tigers. Wake Forest brings in an extra receiver on 3rd down and 8.
Here comes the blitz.
Carson chasing him out of bounds. Chad Carson with a blitz right in the middle. Chase leak out of bounds, and it will bring up 4th down.
Great pressure by Carson, and the quarterback got outside of containment, and Carson chased him down for a no gainer.
Carson's motor is always running, Coach.
He really is. He's active. He's leading the conference, I believe, in tackles these first 2 weeks.
Matt Brenny will come on to punt for Wake Forest. Travis Zachary stands at the 20-yard line. Brenny boots it away with a wind behind him. Zachary calls for the fair catch at the 15. That's where the Tigers will start their 2nd drive of the afternoon. No score, first quarter at Death Valley. Back right after this.
Here we go.
Woody from that shotgun formation. There's the handoff to Zachary. Cuts it back up, and he was chopped down.
Clemson has a chance to look at the Wake Forest defense set up for a series now, and I'd be real anxious to see
Second and 8 at the 17.
See how they adjust to that defense. They got a 4-man front.
2nd down and 8. And the wraparound to Zachary.
It's a counter draw play back to the weak side. Looked like he had room for a while. Here's a key early 3rd down play. There's a counter draw play coming back.
All spotted at the 21.
Close to breaking it.
Nick Bender on the stop, number 46. It's 3rd down and 4. Woody bobbled the snap on the first drive on 3rd down. He got it cleanly. There's the draw play. Flag down. First down, Clemson will check the flag.
I think maybe Wake Forest may have lined up offside. I'm not sure. I don't believe anyone moved for Clemson. In fact, I think Brian Ray lined up offside.
That's the call, Coach. Offsides, Wake Forest. They'll decline that. 1st and 10.
There's a big weapon for Clemson when they got back there and they're having a blitz or covering everybody. Woody can run.
1st and 10 Tigers at the 32.
1st and 10 from the 32. Woody changing the play. 3 wide in the lower part of your screen. There's the quick hitch to Jackie Robinson.
Pass complete to number 80.
Obi Chikuma comes up to make the stop.
A little unusual set there, putting the 3 wides into the boundary, and the 1 wide receiver up top still got double coverage, and so he goes into the formation where they were somewhat outnumbered.
2nd and 7 for the Tigers. Ball at the 35.
2nd down and 7.
Here's the same setup, but his single coverage up top. He may go deep this time.
Woody wiggles his way out of trouble and falls forward for a gain of 3 yards. Marquise Hopkins on the stop for the Demon Deacs.
Here's a replay. He had the shuffle pass set up, Doug, as he's going in with Dantzler coming inside, and then he gets on his own for a while. But they had Zachary covered on the shuffle pass.
3rd down and 3. Rod Gardner, wide right. Woody rolls left.
Got room.
Went for a 1st down and much more. Brought down at the 37-yard line. Adrian Duncan on the stop for Wake Forest.
Hey, Doug, you'll notice here with Wake Forest in a 3-man defensive line, they were covering all the receivers, and that's what Woody, when he sees that, he picks the ball down and takes off with it and makes a long run down into Wake Forest territory.
The Tigers really spread out of defense. 4 wide now. Zachary lines up behind Woody. Here's the handoff to Zachary. Pulling his way forward.
Wake Forest changed their defense up quite a bit, a lot more than Missouri did. They go from a 3-man front to a 4-man front. And they're also getting some substitutions here in between downs. That Missouri was not able to do that either.
Travis has gotten off to a nice start this season. His first carry this year against the Citadel went for 52 yards. Woody keeps it. Breaks a tackle. And another first down.
There again, Doug, they're in that three-man line and trying to cover all the receivers and then play deep zone coverage too. And no one is open, but there's no one to get the quarterback. So the quarterback is a bad one to let loose when it's Clemson's number one.
J.J. McKelvey has come on for Clemson. He's wide at the top of your screen, very close to the Wake Forest sideline. There you see him. 4 wide. Zachary lines up behind Dantzler.
They're playing man-to-man underneath. We got a free safety deep with a 3-man rush.
Wake Forest, here comes the blitz. Lots of time, they picked it up. First down to Rod Gardner.
They showed a late blitz, and Woody threw the ball right into Gardner on the look-in, down on the bottom of your screen here. There's the blitz going through, and he picked him up nicely. Receivers like for that ball to be thrown low so they won't get hit so hard.
Terry Witherspoon, the big bulldozer at fullback, is in there now. He comes in on red zone situations. And he'll block for Zachary. He peeled off that block and then gets tackled around the ankles by Brian Ray. We'll call Brian Ray's name a bunch.
It's very noticeable, Doug, that Wake Forest has got a real good defensive plan, and they're changing it up. They're not giving Clemson the same look on consecutive plays, and this looks like a well-organized defensive plan for Wake Forest.
Morgan Woodward, man who caught his first touchdown pass against the Citadel, checks in now, tight end, replacing Witherspoon. 9 touchdowns out of 11 tries inside the red zone for Clemson this season. Some contact.
Well, it was close in the end zone, throwing the fade route in the end zone, throwing it up for Gardner to get a big rebound in the end zone. Let's see if we can see something here. It looked like a pretty clean play. I think that was a no call. Big third down play right here.
They're looking to the sideline. Play clock is down to 2-1, and Woody's forced to call a timeout. There was some confusion there because 3 or 4 of the Tigers were looking at the sidelines. And we'll come right back. Clemson on 3rd down and 9, and the ball's on the 14-yard line. We'll find out what they call right after this. And remember, Friday night, 7:30 Eastern Time, College Sports Central Special Edition featuring Gene Stallings, the man who led the Crimson Tide of Alabama to that national title back in 1992. That's exclusively on College Sports Southeast.
The last play, Doug, one of the wide receivers had picked up a route I guess he wanted to run. He tried to signal to Dantzler, and they got to talking to each other a little bit and had to call the timeout. But it's the same formation, and let's see what we got going. That was Ronnie Thomas.
Thomas is in there now, Coach.
He's in the slot to the left.
And the officials blow the whistle. They stop play.
Clemson's in a 2-back set. I believe Rambert's in there now with Dantzler. And got the slot to both sides. Wake Forest in the 4-man front. And I believe they're going to blitz it outside and play man-to-man. Here they come.
Lots of time that was batted down by Brian Ray. That's twice Ray's knocked down a pass. He's a big guy at 6'4".
Gardner was open, but the You got to chop block them low to keep them from getting their hands up. That was a good play call. They just got the ball knocked down to the line of scrimmage.
Aaron Hunt comes on, the freshman, to attempt his second field goal this season. This is a 30-yarder. He hit one from 29 yards against the Citadel.
That's good.
He's 2 for 2.
Good.
Tigers jump on top. A year ago, a very low-scoring game against Wake Forest, a 12-10 Clemson victory. And right now they score again in the red zone. Their second field goal of the season. Remember replay coverage of every Clemson game this season, Sunday nights 9 o'clock Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, exclusively on College Sports Southeast. And for those of you who do not have College Sports Southeast on your cable system, contact your local cable company, and we would be happy to oblige. John Stone is deep to receive this kick from Tony Lazera. Lazera has kicked off 14 times, 5 touchbacks. 3 have reached the goal line.
That drive was 13 plays.
He'll probably be a return because we've got a little wind. He's kicking against the wind a little bit. The Wake Forest returner is he's a threat. John Stone is. He's got a pretty high average.
Good return man. Lots of speed, John Stone. That's what you want in your return man. Here comes Lazera, putting it against the wind. Stone fields it at the 3. Has some room. Breaks a tackle, big gain, still going, and he gets up to the 49-yard line. Eric Meekins finally brings him down. A 46-yard return for John Stone. You said it, Coach. He's dangerous.
Well, I had a little clue on that one, but he did make a good return, and looked like Clemson stayed in their lanes good, but Stone did a good job of picking his way. See what the defense, they've been strong all year. Let's see if they can hang tough here.
Stone is in there now. In the slot. There's the handoff the big fullback. Obi Mohaley. And Chad Carson, another tackle.
A little quick trap up the middle, trying to break something clean. It doesn't look like Wake wants to go outside because of the speed of the Clemson linebackers. And I'm sure they want to come straight at the Clemson defensive line, which by modern-day standards are a little small.
A very young Wake Forest football team. Their entire backfield, all sophomores in there right now. And leak to the outside. Going to John Stone. He's brought down by Brian Mance.
Just short of the first down. Be a 3rd and 1.
4 yards on the play. Stop made by Alex Hartley and
Mance
Brian
has
Mance.
moved into the starting role, a sophomore. Looked very good last week against Ole Mizzou, didn't he, Coach? Brian
He
Mance.
really did. He had him a couple of picks and very active as a tackler also. Big down right here.
3rd down and 1.
Yeah.
Wake Forest might have jumped.
Believe they moved. Go back at 3rd and 6 situation. Last time on 3rd and long, Clemson had a blitz coming. And let's see what they do this time.
There's Jim Caldwell in his 8th season. Man has coached us some fine places over the years as an assistant.
Here they come.
3rd down and 6.
Attaboy.
And CJ throws it out of bounds. Wasn't even close. Good coverage by Brian Mance on the outside.
Those 3 linebackers are coming and doubling John Stone, double the right guy. That was a great stand by the defense.
Travis
Zachary stands back at the 10-yard line.
Back deep for the Tigers, Travis Zachary.
Be alert. Alert. Clemson's alert for a fake situation here. 3 linebackers a little deeper.
Matt Brenny kicks it away. Zachary Lets it bounce and fields it at the 5. And he's quickly brought down at the 7-yard line. Jamal
got a flag on the play.
Yeah, Jamal Argrove with the tackle. Flag down back inside the 5. Go ahead, Coach.
Probably a block in the back, and that's going to put Clemson back in some bad field position here. Looks like it might go to about the 3-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. On the return team,
Ron Cherry, the head referee for this Atlantic Coast Conference officiating crew.
Ball will be spotted at the 3-yard line. The Tigers begin 1st and 10.
ACC opener for the Tigers. Last week, Wake Forest opened conference play with a loss to North Carolina. Terry Witherspoon on at fullback. Clemson's backed up to the 3-yard line.
Witherspoon's at a wing back, so he may sprint that way.
Exactly. Gives him a little more breathing room now. Beyond the 6-yard line, Roderick Stephen with a stop for Wake Forest.
Need a couple of first downs, Doug, against the wind here, so if they do have to punt, they get help of what little wind we got. It's not a big gusting wind, but it is a factor with the football.
Jackie Robinson comes on in the slot for the Tigers. Again, Rod Gardner, man-on-man coverage on the outside. Wouldn't be surprised if they go to their go-to guy here, Coach.
Well,
they shift into a zone now. Woody with a fake. Gets it out beyond the 10-yard line. And again, Stephen with a stop.
Well, I believe he had Jackie Robinson open, but someone ran through his face and he couldn't throw it.
3 yards on the play.
Right here, it looks like 99 got in his way a little bit, and he pulled it down and had to run with it.
Ronnie Thomas checks in at wide out for the Tigers. And Woody slips down and is brought down by Calvin Bates for a loss of 4 yards. We got 4th down.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. 4th down Tigers.
Woody hops right back up. Jamie Somani on to punt.
Well, that was a couple of bad plays there, and as I say, Wake Forest continues to change their defensive looks, and Clemson's offense just hadn't gotten
for the Tigers, number 24, Jamie Somani.
Somani needs to hit one here.
Adrian Duncan stands back at the 45.
Good kick.
He calls for the fair catch. In Clemson territory, just on the other side of the 50-yard line. 43-yard kick for Solaney. And remember our website, ClemsonTigers.com, for all you need to know about Clemson Tigers athletics. That's where I get my inside stuff every week, Coach.
Well, I'm not quite high tech yet.
You'll get there.
We back at midfield again, and defense held them a few moments ago, and they need to get after them again here.
C.J. Leak, the sophomore from Charlotte at quarterback. And off to Jamie Scott.
There he is, outside speed again.
Keith Adams.
Keith Adams from the outside.
Back to the man by number 43, Keith Adams. No gain on the play.
Keith took a real tight angle and caught him right as he got to the line of scrimmage. He's quick, Doug.
He is quick. In fact, Keith Adams is one of 10 active players featured in the race for the Pantheon 2000 exhibit at the College Football Hall of Fame in South Bend, Indiana. That's quite an honor.
Oh, boy.
Andrews passing the outside in complete.
That was excellent coverage, and then also Chad Carson, besides being a good tackle, Chad came up as linebacker and contained the quarterback and forced him to throw the football probably before he was ready.
And now for Wake Forest, Ira Williams, junior wide receiver.
Yeah, he's down on the Clemson sideline, and they'll come and attend to him.
It'll be 3rd down and 10. Again, Wake Forest with excellent field position, but they haven't taken advantage of it yet. That's going to be tough against this very, very fast and opportunistic Clemson defense.
They had excellent coverage in the secondary on that play, and like I say, Carson did a good job of containing the quarterback. Last week early in the game against Missouri quarterbacks got outside of containment, both on the sprint out and the bootleg, and caused a little problem. But the second half, coaches corrected that mistake, and Reggie Herring's group didn't let the quarterback out at all.
See Reggie down there on the sidelines urging the troops on. Many defensive coordinators are up in the booth, but Reggie is down there on the sidelines. And check that out, that positive fact.
Yeah, they get a lot of turnovers. It'd be good to get one right here. 3rd and 10. Big play.
Crowd turns up the volume. C.J. Link from the shotgun. 3rd and 10. Overshoots Jax Landfried on the outside.
Very good coverage by Mance. That was he had to overthrow that. Mance would have intercepted it.
Matt Brenny on to punt for Wake Forest. Travis Zachary deep for the Tigers. You saw Tommy Bowden looking at his play chart. Travis back at the 10-yard line. So far, the first 2 games of the season, Clemson has had excellent field position. Today, though, Wake Forest is pinning him deep.
That's good. That's out of the end zone.
That goes through the end zone. A 49-yard kick.
A 50-yard punt.
No return. Clemson will take over on the 20. That's what they wanted.
10 at the 20.
That's good. That's good. I believe the 20 is a little bit better than the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
So. They've had 2 or 3 looks at them now defensively, and Wake Forest basically has been in the 3 different types of defense. And I'm sure that the recognition factor will be better this series.
They'll have to do a better job of blocking Brian Ray, who has been sensational, really been a thorn in their side so far. Travis Zachary, nice gain over the left side. That time they did block Ray. Nick Bender on the stop.
Actually, they're trying to run at Ray and then cut inside of him as he comes upfield. He likes to get upfield quick.
It's 2nd and 4.
He's deflected a couple of passes already. Working against T.J. Watkins. Looking for Jackie Robinson. Woody overthrow Michael Clinkscale on the coverage for the Demon Deacons.
It's 3rd and 4.
He was overthrown. We had a opening player in the flat, and he chose to try to go a little bit deep. I believe it was Watts that was open in the flat that time.
It's 3rd down and 4. Woody keeps it himself. Gets a 1st down. Busts to the outside. Gets a nice block. Woody breaks from the outside, shows that speed, and he's tripped up, still going, brought down at the 20-yard line.
Well, that was a good example of his athleticism. He goes back to wanting to throw, but breaks it up here, gets a good block from his wide receiver, and keeps his balance for about 15 yards and does a little tumbling act at the end. Here comes a good block right there from the wide receiver. He put his feet away, kept his balance, and did a little front roll. Here goes Zachary off tackle for about 5 yards.
Well, that was a 53-yard jaunt by Woody Dantzler. He now has 100 yards, coach, on 8 carries.
Well, it's a little bit more. I'm sure that Coach Bowden wants him to run, but that's about all Wake Forest has given him. And he's giving it so much, he's got to take it. Watts runs excellent routes, and also he's a good blocker.
We told you about 100 yards already, and we haven't even finished the first quarter. Witherspoon in there, fullback, he'll block. He crunches somebody, touchdown, Clemson. Great block by Terry Witherspoon.
Had two tight ends in, Doug, with one flanker, and I believe they did catch Wake Forest with maybe too many backs in there that time, and then the power sweep into the boundary, and Rambert, you give him one little cut, and he'll stick it in there. There's about three real good blocks. Tight end and the right tackle and the fullback.
Aaron Hunt, freshman from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, on for the extra point, and it's 10-0 Tigers. That was an 80-yard touchdown drive aided by that 53-yard run on third down by Woody Dantzler. But check out Witherspoon as he really chops Ed Corgi.
Here's the backside of that run, and untouched, smooth running right into the end zone. I think, Doug, one thing that we may see here a little bit later on, one of the defenses that Wake Forest is employing is pretty much doubling up on several receivers and covering deep also and allowing the quarterback freedom. Coach Bowden might slip Willie Simmons in there, who's pretty fast and also rested, and he might get one of his great runs in there. But right now, in 33 more seconds, we get kicked off with the win. We scored too quick, and now we got to go hem John Stone up again.
There's John Stone at the goal line. He returned the last one. 46 yards.
Number 2, John Stone.
Lazera kicks off for the Tigers. And there's Woody Dantzler. What a weapon. And I like Terry Witherspoon on that seek and destroy mission. Every time he comes in there, he's just out to knock somebody on the ground. And that time he did, and it freed up Rambert for the TD. Against the wind, Lazera.
Good kick.
Got into it that time.
Doug, he hit a line drive. I don't know whether he did it on purpose or not, but that's good. It's kind of like hitting your 2-iron against the wind.
That's
you know?
right.
He kept that real low and drove it, and he got it in the end zone. And anytime you keep John Stone from getting his legs loose, you want to do it.
He even had a little draw on that ball, Coach.
He sure did. Sure did. He changed his grip, Doug. All right, the defense they've done a good job at the 50-yard line, 2 series in a row. Now let's see what they can do as Wake tries to come out at the 20.
C.J. Leak again at quarterback. Ovi Mulhaley at fullback. Again to Jamie Scott. And he's pushed back, thrown for a loss. Who else but Keith Adams leading the charge?
Yeah, Keith has been pretty active today. I think what he's run into, though, Carson's been making all the tackles, and Keith had to turn it up a notch so he can get a tackle or two every once in a while. There's the end of the first quarter.
Well, the crowd loves it. Last season, it took until late in the fourth quarter for Clemson to score 10 points against the tough Wake Forest defense, but so far it's been Woodrow Dantzler and the Tigers offense up 10-0 after 1. It's the start of the second quarter at Death Valley, 10-0 Clemson. Doug Bell alongside Cecil Hootie Ingram, the former Clemson head football coach. We're glad you're along, watching this replay of the Tigers as they take on the Demon Deacons in their ACC opener. It's second down and 10 for sophomore quarterback C.J. Leak, who has been befuddled by this very quick Clemson defense.
There's an option to the weak side, the short side of the field. And Clemson had a pretty good workout against the option playing the Citadel early in the year, so that was a good training. If Wake's going to try to run the option, I think they can play it pretty well.
Braxton K. Williams in on the stop.
Here's another third down play, 3rd and 6.
Defense.
Steve Lewis might have got a hand on that, Doug. I'm not sure.
Travis Zachary deep at the 35.
Now Wake's kicking against the rim. Let's see how that affects him.
Matt Brenny.
High, short kick.
Zachary fields it at the 42. Shows some quick feet. Gets to the outside. And gets into Wake Forest territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 48-yard line. That was Jax Landfried knocking him out of bounds.
Good play. Good play by Zachary. See on the replay, he didn't fair catch it. And I think the Wake people kind of anticipated, and he got outside and picked up a little yardage there. Got the ball into Wake territory.
Here comes Woody Dantzler, 100 yards already rushing in the first quarter on 8 carries. Bernard Rambert lines up to his right, takes the wraparound.
There we go.
Good blocking, close to a first down. Obi Chikuma on the stop for Wake Forest. Let's give Theo Mugros and John McDermott some credit on that right side.
And that's that misdirection draw play, a counter draw. And Wake is coming upfield real quick with the outside people and pursuing well with the people inside. It leaves a hole to the backside. That's one of the things that Coach Rodriguez and his staff have picked up from upstairs that they can attack them with. I think we'll see the strategies that they want to employ against these defenses on this drive as well as any we've had so far in the game.
Jim Caldwell looking on. That's Ed Carboa-Corrigie on the ground.
I like the way you pronounce that, Doug.
I tell you, if they had their names on the back of their jerseys, that would certainly fill up the jersey. Carboa-Corrigie from Stafford, Texas. Hopefully that's not a serious injury. We'll be back in just a moment. Clemson on top 10-0. 13:53 to play, second quarter. Remember College Sports Southeast and College Sports Special Edition every Friday night, 7:30 Eastern Time, with our special analyst Gene Stallings. And Coach Stallings likes this offense. You know, he wasn't one to open things up, but he really likes what Tommy and Rich Rodriguez are doing here at Clemson. It's second down and 2. The pitch back to Rambert. Again, a great push from the offensive line, and who else but Terry Witherspoon in there.
That play we just saw there is the only play Coach Stallings knows about.
That's right.
That was a power sweep off tackle. Of course, he ran it a little bit wider. Gene usually ran that play off the right guard. So.
First down and 10. And there's the play change from Dantzler. And Rambert again over the right side. Working hard. Nice game by Bernard Rambert. What a great 1-2 punch that is from Zachary and Rambert.
As we said early in the year in the Citadel, Doug, you need 2 running backs at least, and sometimes you need 3. But in today's football game, it takes a lot out of it.
Zachary's back in there now. You saw that good blocking on the right side. Again, Zachary over the right side. You know, let's give Mugros and McDermott credit, the right guard and right tackle. They're not exceptionally big for this day and age, 270 and 280 respectively, but they're both fifth-year seniors. They've been around the block. They're pretty tricky in there, aren't they?
Right, and this is an example of taking what they give you. Wake Forest is trying to take the outside and the throws and everything away, and Clemson's coming in running straight at them and moving the football. Third and short.
Third down and 2. Dantzler up under center. And again, over that right side, big hole, first down inside the 20-yard line. Travis Zachary, Marquise Hopkins on the stop.
I've been knowing Tommy Bowden a long time, and it doesn't bother him how he scores, just so each touchdown counts 6 points.
Kyle Young at center again. The savvy veteran, the junior, and Woody Dantzler. Tacking on his rushing yards, flag down at the 10-yard line. Kingscale knocked him out of bounds. We'll check the flag. It was a late flag as the officials huddle.
I don't know where it was, a face mask or a hold. It could have been either one.
Keep your hands in.
Block in the back. It'll still be first down.
You're a senior. Keep your hands in.
Replay first down. So get the penalty, get the play over again.
Well, the way you reacted, it appeared that Rod Gardner got nabbed there for the block in the back. Gardner goes wide right. Jackie Robinson now is one of the three wide receivers at the top of your screen. Zachary in there, tailback, lining up next to Dantzler. Looking for Gardner.
Oh, my goodness.
And to throw it high. And pressure coming up the middle. Again, Brian Ray was right there.
Well, they had the perfect setup, had one-on-one coverage on Gardner, and Woody just couldn't get the throw down to it, but he was there for the touchdown.
It's 2nd and 11 from the 20.
Got Robinson one-on-one to the inside the boundary now.
On the reverse to Jackie Robinson. That's Gardner. And he's tripped up, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Montique Sharp trips up Gardner.
Here's a look at the reverse here. 42 got up and contained him and made him cut back inside and gave the inside pursuit a chance to come in and make the play.
Well, that was Jamal Argrove who held his ground there. Did a nice job to foul up that play. 3rd down and 11.
Woody needs to get a good delivery here. I believe he'll have someone open. Here comes the blitz. That's a good pass.
Jackie Robinson just off his fingertips in the end zone. Very close.
That's an excellent route by Robinson and a perfect throw by Woody. He laid it up with a little touch on it. Jackie laid out and just couldn't hold on to it. But good play. I'm sure they'll come back to that later on in the game.
Only the 3rd time this season the Tigers have failed to score a touchdown inside the red zone. His 2nd field goal attempt of the day, 36 yards.
Wide right.
Wide right, he pushes it.
Wide right.
His first miss, 2 out of 3 now on the season for the young man from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. We'll be back. The score is still 10-0 Tigers. Wake Forest will try to get it going on offense. Get the latest college sports news anywhere from College Sports Southeast, our website, collegesportscentral.com. We've redesigned our website. It looks great. Easy to find information on your favorite school. Link is off to his fullback. Mulhaley. Keith Adams was right there. Chad Carson.
That time, Doug, Wake Forest came out in an unbalanced line. Missouri ran that about 50% of the time last week. And I don't know where Wake Forest employs that regularly or not. They may have picked up from Missouri something that looked weak in the Clemson defense and tried to take advantage of it. 25-second clock. They had to get it adjusted.
Again, Ron Cherry, our referee. C.J. Leak. See him clapping his hands with authority, trying to get these guys fired up. Haven't done much against this Clemson defense. 2nd and 8. Leak completes his first pass to the outside. Ira Williams grabs it. Brian Mance knocks him out of bounds.
Good tackle by Mance. He stopped him right in his tracks, and it brings up 3rd down, about 3.
That was a 5-yard pickup, so it's 3rd and 3, Coach. And the crowd gets involved upon the urging of the defense. Terry Bryant raising his hands up, trying to get him fired up.
Wake Forest in a running set. They're going into the boundary.
Going nowhere. Ovi Mohaley. He runs into an orange wall. Terry Bryant right there. Talking it up. Nick Eason and Bryant.
I tell you, they stuffed it up real good there. Big fullback, nowhere to go. Clemson's playing excellent football on third down defensively.
Jodon Reams stands at the 35 for Clemson. His brother pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals last night, won a game. Thanks to a home run by Mark McGuire. Jodon fields it at the 32, looking for blockers.
Good.
Nice return, flag down. They might have grabbed his face mask.
I believe they did. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent run. I tell you, here's the replay. You can see it. He got under the ball, caught it well, and then cut back up the middle. And there's a face mask. I don't know whether they're going to give him 5 or 15. When you're running full speed and grab it, it ought to be 15. And it is 15.
Jim Caldwell has followed a long line of some pretty big names at Wake Forest when you consider Bill Dooley and John Makovic, Al Groh now with the New York Jets. They've had some good coaches along the way. Not a lot of success, but those coaches we mentioned all had a season or two, which were very good.
I tell you, the Clemson punt returners, Jodon Reams and Zachary, I like the way they feel the ball first and catch it. And both of them know what to do with it after they catch it.
Zachary back in there at tailback, lining up next to Woody. And the fake. Here goes Dantzler over the right side. One man to beat. Woodrow Dantzler, touchdown, Clemson.
I tell you, that was one of those things, Doug, that you pick up in the press box, and it's a weak side split over there when the defensive end's coming upfield, when they're blocking down, and Dantzler broke it with some great downfield blocking.
Aaron Hunt on to kick. 48-yard touchdown run by Woodrow Dantzler. It's now 17-0. Well, what can you say? Woody is the man, the big man on campus. The junior from Orangeburg, South Carolina, doing it all for the Tigers. And remember, College Sports Central every night, Monday through Friday, 7:30 Eastern Time on College Sports Southeast. And again, if you do not have CSSE on your cable system, contact your local cable operator. We're on in 11 states now. We carry all of Clemson's sports, not only football, but we're looking forward to basketball season, all the coaches' shows. You don't want to miss it.
Here's a touchdown, and watch Gardner downfield blocking. You see he's already blocked one man, and then he shields the second guy and paves the way. That long a run being untouched, that somebody up front's doing something big, Doug.
Just like Forrest Gump, Woody's still running on that one.
That's right. Now we got a little favorable win in the Clemson favor.
Lazare has kicked 2 in a row into the end zone. And Woody Dantzler, he's the guy who could lead Clemson to a very, very special season. And Coach, I know you don't like to get ahead of yourself, but driving over yesterday on the radio talk shows in Atlanta, all sorts of people were talking about Clemson being undefeated when they hooked up with Florida State. Of course, that's many weeks down the road.
Yeah, that's next season. I'll tell you what, they got 2 tough road games going to Virginia and Duke.
They sure do.
Anytime you go on the road in the league, it's really tough.
First and 10 from the 20. And flags down.
Head movement. Doug, what worries you about at this time, the Wake Forest is probably going to try to get a quick one now, some kind of play action pass. Clemson's defense is very aggressive, and it's time here that a lot of teams will like to do a play action pass and try to beat somebody deep. That particular defense Clemson was in bump and run man-to-man with the wideouts, so let's see if Wake stays on the ground or tries to get a chip.
It'll be first down at 15. Tommy Bowden looking on. He doesn't get too involved with the defensive unit. He lets Reggie Herring do that. And Reggie, as the defensive coordinator, does a marvelous job. A fullback, Haley.
Oh boy, there's that man again.
Chad Carson.
You know, Carson not only makes tackles, you don't even have to see his number. You don't have to see his number. You just see when somebody puts a head in front of the runner and locks his arm and drives him the other way, you know it's Chad Carson. Great form tackle.
Carson with a 3.91 GPA in biological sciences, an academic All-American. Rushing yards, of course, very lopsided in favor of Clemson, 219 to 15. Jamie Scott. James on the stop.
Carswell was up from the secondary. He may get credit for that tackle. I think he's close to some sort of record. So far, they hadn't let anybody get close enough to him to tackle playing in the secondary. But he at least got an assist on that one. I don't know where he made the tackle or not.
Yeah, Carswell's now tied with Terry Kennard. They just announced it for most tackles in the history of Clemson football. And the blitz right up the middle. Braxton K. Williams. And a flag now, maybe a celebration penalty.
I believe the referee had to look for the receiver.
Okay.
He was still in the pocket, and he called intentional grounding, I believe.
It was a late flag.
If he gets outside the pocket, it's not. He may wave it off now. He's waving it off. Yeah. He may have ruled that he was outside the pocket, or he may have ruled, one of the other officials may have indicated there was a Wake Forest receiver in the vicinity. You see here the play. But the mechanics of that play by the officials was correct. That's what they should do. Throw the flag and then discuss it.
That's Brenny. He's been very busy today. Oh, that was close. It takes a Wake Forest bounce, but Rames does a nice job working his way back upfield. And he gets to the 46-yard line. Monteith Sharp on the stop.
Yeah, it was a good return, but that's good pressure by Meekins, number 3, who put pressure on the punter and rushed him up a little bit. It wasn't an attempt to block the punt, but Meekins, on his individual effort, really got fairly close. Pretty good field position again, Doug, right around midfield.
They tell us that Carswell has now broken the Clemson record for tackles. And the wraparound draw to Zachary. Roderick Stephen and Monteith Sharp on the stop for the Demon Deacons, who are really back on their heels now. 5-yard pickup.
As we talked about earlier, the Wake Forest 3-man front bothered Clemson early, and now they made some adjustments, and they're picking them to pieces inside there.
Second down and 5. First down and more. Down to the 32.
That's a shuffle pass back away from the motion, and opened up good on the left side. A well-designed play there. And again, I give credit to the coaches upstairs. They're kind of picking the defense a little bit now.
We're going right outside, right side, then caught him that time, cutting back. Here's the fake. Woody, Jackie Robinson, down to the 11-yard line. Walter Simmons on the crushing tackle. Jackie hops right back up.
Well, that was a real complicated pass play. Faked the draw, and he sprinted left, and he looked back across the middle and hit Jackie Robinson as he was coming on a deep crossing pattern. First and goal, 1st and 10 on the 12.
19-yard pickup. Danzler, Robinson. Oh, that was deflected. Brian Ray got his hand in there again. Sausage was putting some pressure on him, too.
Yeah, I tell you what, I believe this Carswell has made that great play, made his tackle record, I should say. Broke Terry Kennard's record, and that's an honor just to be in the same paragraph with Terry Kennard. He was a great player.
Second down and 10. Here comes the blitz. Woody kind of lobs it to Travis Zachary. A dangerous play, but a positive play after all is said and done. 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, I believe this is his alternate receiver. He's trying to throw downfield and laid it off to his outlet there to Zachary. That's a tough pass to throw and catch, but they did it right easy there. Another 3rd down play here.
Should have been by Michael Clinkscale.
That's intended for number 85, Ronnie Thomas, broken up by number 9, Michael Clinkscale.
Been there, done that. That hurts.
Well, Woody tried to give a little hook pass there to just lucky he didn't get that touchdown.
Yeah, they need to just let him get his breath back, and we'll be back right after this. 17-0 Clemson, but not for long. And remember the Tommy Bowden Show on College Sports Southeast every Monday at 4 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Central, or excuse me, Eastern Time, and midnight Eastern. And again, our website, collegesportscentral.com. Well, there's Tommy Bowden looking on, and he sends in his field goal kicker, Tony Lazzara.
Doug, they just announced to the crowd about Carswell breaking the all-time Clemson tackle record. He got a standing ovation for that.
Number 39, Tony Lazzara on the kick field goal. Number 12, Jeff Scott.
Tony's first field goal attempt of the season. Handles the kickoff duties. And he's kicked a couple extra points this season.
25 seconds left.
This will be a 26-yard attempt.
Having some kind of trouble with the clock operation, and the referees coming over to the sideline to talk to the clock operator upstairs to see if they can get that corrected.
And Tommy Bowden standing next to Brad Scott. And for ticket information for Clemson, remember 1-800-CLEMSON. That's pretty easy to remember. Still some good football tickets available for the home games this season. Tommy, I know, is urging the crowd to come on. He wants to sell this place out at each and every week. And as they climb up the top 25 poll, this week number 16, more and more fans will be coming to Death Valley. And what an atmosphere. It really is a terrific family atmosphere. And the weather today, ideal. Man, what a way to spend a Saturday afternoon watching your favorite team out in this gorgeous weather. And let's look at the schedule ahead, Coach.
Right. It's,
next week at Virginia and then Duke.
Well, those two conference games away, always tough to play on the road in your league. And Virginia, of course, got a real good football team, and they do such a good job. And NC State here, and then Maryland's homecoming, and then we go to Carolina. Got the Yellow Jackets in here, and Florida State away, the Bowden Bowl 2, and finish up with the Gamecocks at Death Valley.
And considering how South Carolina is playing these days, that is going to be a lot of fun. That final weekend of the regular season. Lazera kicks it through. 26-yarder. It's 20-0 Tigers.
Well, I'm sure that this morning you get a touchdown that time, but they'll learn a couple of times in the red zone. The offense has had a few little boo-boos, but sometimes you can learn from that as well as scoring. So also gives the freshman kicker a little experience kicking, and Aaron Hunt's done a good clutch job, and I think he's going to be a good one.
And you know, the guy who really is getting work out these days as Clemson rolls up the numbers offensively is John Potter, the man inside the Tiger mascot outfit. He does a push-up for every point Clemson scores. And last week they had to give him an IV. He had 62 points. He was there. He is. There's John Potter. Poor guy was doing something like 445 push-ups last week.
I tell you what, wearing that mascot uniform in that Citadel day, I bet he probably need more than an IV. It was hot that day, and that's a hot uniform he gets in, I tell you.
I like the guys behind the cheerleaders. Hey, they're just kind of taking it easy. John Potter, the guy in the suit, is getting a workout.
I believe Potter put somebody else in that suit second half. I don't believe he does in the whole game.
I tell you what, if they keep scoring 50, 60 points, John is going to be a strong person at the end of the year. Bobbled at the 11-yard line. But a nice return up to the 30-yard line is Jamie Scott.
Well, he kind of missed the ball that time, kicked the knuckleball down, and it wasn't exactly what they wanted, but at least Stone didn't get the ball. That's some relief there.
Well, the Demon Deacons again will have good field position with 5:47 to play second quarter. And when you're a football player, this kind of weather really, especially on defense, man, you want to just keep playing. It's not that hot out there this afternoon.
Wake Forest lined up with two tight ends and a flanker now.
Scott, loose football, couldn't break free, but he pounced on it. Alex Ardley on the stop.
He almost had a little running room there, Doug, but Ardley came up, made a good play, and he fumbled the ball a little bit.
And these ROTC guys were getting work out as well.
And we'll have a good, strong Army if they'll keep following Clemson doing push-ups.
There's Carswell with that wrap around his left thumb. Injured that a couple of weeks before the regular season began in practice. Chad Carson.
There's a counter option again, but Clemson's speed at linebacker kind of takes that option away from teams.
Carson missed that tackle, actually, Coach. That's a rarity.
Yeah, he was in there so quick, and the quarterback had to run a little deeper than he normally runs for an option. In fact, he was so deep he couldn't pitch it that time. Another third down. I don't know what Wake Forest's success is on third down, but I'll be anxious to see those stats at the halftime.
Ira Williams wide left. Fabian Davis wide right, looking for Williams. Almost intercepted by Brian Mance.
I tell you, Doug, just like the last 2 weeks, Brian Mance breaks on the football as well as any defensive back I've seen. He plays his position well, and he reads that quarterback. And he broke on that ball. Had it been a good pass, Mance would have had 6 points. And there's another third down the green for Wake Forest.
Once again, Matt Brenny on to punt. Matt has been the busiest player on the Wake Forest team so far. And Jodon Reeves standing back at the 27.
Oh, no, don't pull your flag out of that.
Reeves thought about it, lets it bounce. It'll be down at the 19-yard line. 4:19 on the clock.
short punt, and it rolled. It was a high bounce, but he very wisely chose to stay away from it and let the offense take over on the 19.
That was a 48-yard punt, no return. Wake Forest has yet to get a first down against this Clemson defense.
Boy, that's amazing, I tell you. They've had a lot of possessions, too.
With some good field position.
Excellent field position first quarter. Here comes a blitz from the outside for Wake Forest.
Zachary. High steps it for a 7-yard gain. Marquise Hopkins, young man out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, gets the stop for Wake Forest.
Wake got a blitz from the left side and then ran the counter draw away from it, and it worked pretty good. Here comes a late substitute for Clemson over at left guard.
Yeah, German Chester hustling in there. Chester's a redshirt freshman, got the start today. Woodrow Dantzler throws deep for Rod Gardner and throws it out of bounds.
They're going for a big one there, and still enough pressure to have Woody to kind of have to overthrow the ball. He hadn't been quite as accurate today, but he's had a little bit more pressure put on him by the Wake Forest front.
Terry Witherspoon in there at fullback, lining up in front of Zachary.
It's a power set, two tight ends.
And the pitch back to Zachary. Again, good blocking in front. First down, Clemson.
Good solid short yardage play, and it's 3:30 left. Clemson, I'm sure they would like to get one more drive and get a score and keep the momentum.
First and 10 from the 33. Dantzler does that draw. And gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe it appears he might have lost a yard. Monteek Sharp and Brian Ray in there. He did get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Second down and 10.
Same formation.
Still lots of time in the play clock, down to 10 seconds.
Zachary's on the wing. It may be the Utah foot pass.
Go to the outside. Zachary out of the backfield. Breaks a tackle. Cuts back. Still going. Zachary down to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, Zachary was a short wing back that time and went out in the flat again. I believe that Woody was trying to throw downfield a caught on that play deep, but hit Zachary as the alternate receiver.
33-yard pickup. About a 5-yard pass and a 28-yard run.
And Rambert's in now, resting Zachary.
Woody changing the play. Still lots of time. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. They pick up the blitz. Woody ducks out of trouble. It's a first down. Michael Finske on the tackle. Great individual effort by Woodrow Dantzler.
Okay, Wake Forest is getting back there, and whether you see it from behind the play, you see the pressure by Wake. And Dantzler just pulls away and gets him blocking downfield from his wideouts and pulls up for a first down.
Terry Witherspoon checks in along with Jason LeMay at tight end. Zone blitz that time. Rammer picked up one of the blitzers, but couldn't pick up the other one, but Woody just ducked underneath it.
It's a timeout called by the Wake Forest sideline.
Coach, what about this Clemson offensive line? They're not very big in this day and age of 300-pounders, but they get the job done with this offense, don't they?
I tell you what, they're very, very active, and it's amazing how they interchange each other. Several of those guys play 2 or 3 different positions. You know, Kyle Young has a stress fracture, and they've been rotating him in and out. And Mood has played several different positions. with their solid crew.
They really are. Here comes the blitz. Danzo to Gardner. Overshoots him. They had the coverage. Adrian Duncan was beat. But Woody had to throw it a little quicker than hoped for.
I was talking to Ron West early in the week, and he works people a lot of different places. He thinks that keeps them alert, and also he said he's just got a very intelligent group of guys up there.
McDermott is the heaviest on that line at 280. Chester's only 255 at left guard. The quick hitter to Gardner. Gets to the 14. Adrian Duncan drags him down by his jersey.
It's about a foot short of first down.
9-yard pickup.
You know, sometimes, Doug, I think you get too big. You know, those 330-pound guys, they're not maybe as active as they should be. And the tight strength program that Clemson has, those 285-pound players at Clemson are probably stronger than most players like it at other places.
Well, this no-huddle offense, boy, that would wear down a 330-pounder.
Sure would.
And Woody keeps it himself. That's a first down. That'll stop the clock.
Got a minute 14 and a half on the 14-yard line, 13-yard line. And Clemson has no trouble getting plays off quick. They run a 2-minute offense for 60 minutes. So it's back in now with a 2 tight end offense.
And Terry Witherspoon lines up in front of Bernard Rambert. Morgan Woodward in there on the left side. Rambert, another good block. Rambert goes to the goal line, scores a touchdown. 6 points for Bernard Rambert.
I'll tell you what, Doug, he put on a little burst of speed there when he turned the corner and jumped in and run the power sweep, and Wake Forest, everybody went inside to hold it, and Rambert cut it outside, and right here, those quick feet got him inside the pile line.
Aaron Hunt on to kick the extra point. And it's 27-0, Clemson.
Well, that's the second straight week that taking the ball and scored right before the half. That's a good habit to get into. Here's the power sweep. He started off tackle and then just kind of slipped outside as everybody from Wake went inside except their strong safety, and he was too late. As you said, that 1-2 punch at the tailback looks good. I really believe Zachary may have the best hands on the team as a receiver back there, and with Lambert coming in, a good change of pace with his speed. So that's a good 1-2 punch.
Well, we bragged on the offensive line, but let's give McDermott, the big right tackle, a little credit there. He really sealed off the Wake Forest defense on that right side and enabled Rambert to break free. I really like McDermott. I think he does a terrific job there, right tackle. Of course, it appears they run to the right side a little more than the other side. At least they have today.
Well, most teams are right-handed, even though last week against Missouri they ran more to the left because of Missouri stunts. Again, I repeat myself, Clemson does the best job offensively of taking advantage what a defense gives them of most any team you'll see.
Well, there's John Stone deep on the goal line. And Lazara kicks off again for Clemson.
Lazara needs to get in a good foot in this one now and get his confidence back. Good high kick, but returnable.
And Stone from the goal line goes backwards to go 2 yards forwards. Out of bounds at the 22. As we mentioned off the top, it's been 9 years since Clemson started out 3-0. And that was the last time they won the ACC championship. As you look at Jim Caldwell, a man who played at the University of Iowa, coached at Penn State with Joe Paterno, Colorado with Bill McCartney, Northwestern with Dennis Green, Louisville with Howard Schnellenberger. That's a heck of a resume.
Yeah, he's been with some good people, and Jim will go in halftime and get his forces some adjustments. They came out with some good defensive plans, but I think Clemson's caught up with it now, so they may change back.
Demon Deacon still looking for their very first down of the day, and they get it. Completed pass to Ira Williams.
Yeah, they go to the shotgun, and knowing that Clemson is going to be playing in a loose zone here with 44 seconds left in the first half. They've got another player injured back on the 15-yard line. I anticipated Wake Forest to spend more time in the shotgun, Doug, but I see now that their plan was to try to run inside and use some clock, but they weren't able to make a first down until 44 seconds left in the half, and obviously that strategy didn't work. So Jim Caldwell used all his expertise at the half, talking to his offense as well as his defense, and coming up with a few adjustments in the second half.
And you see the ring on his finger there. That's the national championship ring when he was at Penn State back in '86 when they knocked off Jimmy Johnson's Miami Hurricanes. Still wears that proudly. He coached with Joe Paterno and his staff. Remember, ClemsonTigers.com for all the latest in Clemson sports. Terrific website, and that's all the sports. You can check it in not only football, but every other sport. The women's soccer team knocked off the #1 ranked team last week. They were honored before the game. Tim Bennett, that's the injured player being helped off the field, the right guard for Wake Forest. Appears to be okay. Holding his right wrist up in the air. That was quite an honor for the women's soccer team. In fact, the F-16s flew over a little late, and they must have thought, wow, we really are getting honored. Throws it out of bounds. Brian Mance again, terrific coverage by the sophomore.
I believe I was Leak. I'd look where number 2 was, throw it somewhere else. Of course, if you throw it over the other side, it's just about as bad. Half of them might take it all away. He did last week. Back in the shotgun again.
Receiver Fabian Davis went to the inside. Alex Ardley, here you see number 28 on the coverage, a young man from Tallahassee.
Third and 10, 28 seconds left. They may run a draw play here, Doug, to keep the clock running, so they won't, if they don't throw an incomplete pass and have to punt. I'm sure they don't want to punt again.
Here's the draw play.
There it is. But that'll run the clock out. Keeps the clock running. The incomplete pass would have killed the clock, and they won't have to punt.
Nothing but orange jerseys.
And we got about 4 of them around him real quick that time. And that'll end her up there.
That's the end of the first half. We'll give Gary Childress, big number 99, credit for that last stop. Senior out of Nashville, Tennessee. And the Tigers are smiling, and well they should, as they lead Wake Forest in the ACC opener 27-0 at halftime. The score at halftime, Clemson 27, Wake Forest 0. Hi, everybody. Doug Bell alongside Hootie Ingram. And, Coach, you said it best in the first half when you said Tommy doesn't care how he scores as long as he scores, and Wake Forest has taken away the pass, and that has obviously opened up the running lanes.
Well, it definitely has, and as we've said many times, Clemson likes to do what the defense gives them, and they've certainly taken advantage of that today.
Let's look at the highlights. Mostly running highlights. That's somewhat unusual, at least early this season. But so far, so good. Bernard Rambert takes off. Great blocking up front.
Right. The front five done a great job, as well as tight ends. And that was a 2 tight end set at that time.
And And there's the big run by Woodrow Dantzler, 53 yards, and he's off to the races.
Well, they had 5 wide receivers and spread out, and Wake Forest covered everybody but the quarterback.
And it appeared to be the same play he scored on earlier, but Rambert over that right side. McDermott good blocking at right tackle. Witherspoon. And there you have it, throwing some field goals. And Clemson's in business. When we look at the first half numbers, Coach, really, very lopsided. You rarely see that. You see John Potter, the mascot, do all those push-ups. He'll be the tiredest guy again at the end of the day. But the numbers are astounding. 368 to 44 total.
Right. It's very dominating. Defense gave him 1 first down with 44 seconds left. A little out pass. Also, Coach Bowden's going to be pleased that they only got 2 penalties in the first half. That's something he really emphasized this past week.
Those rushing yards, 263 to 21, and Wake Forest managed their first down on their last drive there when they threw that little 11-yard pass.
Right, with 44 seconds left in the half.
So again, the defense is doing it, and so is this man, Woodrow Dantzler. The score after 2 quarters, 27-0. When we come back, we'll be ready for the 3rd quarter. Clemson looking to go 3-0 for the first time in 9 years.